I got 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting order. Start with pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
Next I have is approval of today's agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of minutes of 4/22/24.
To make a motion to approve the minutes as presented for April 22nd, 2024.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now I have is approval of claims for payment of 4/29/24.
I make a motion to approve the April 29, 2024 claims for payment.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'm at 9:01. Let's jump down to consideration to approve the resolution of relinquish of easement. Taylor, you want to talk about it real quick?
I know. Sure, 1915, is that what it says?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Alright, apparently back in 1915, they built a gravel pit on this person's property. And it's been empty for as long as my longest employed person has been here, so. Yeah, I assume they're trying to sell the property and this showed up on their abstract, so, yep, they're just asking us to relinquish our easement.
Yeah, I looked in, online, I looked in my Hardin County history book, can't find anything about this where, I know in some counties, the gravel quarry was a big deal at the time for the improvement of infrastructure, and this one doesn't come up in anything, so, very,
100 years ago.
yeah, very well removed, so. Lance, I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2024-12, the relinquishment of easement.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
BJ,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
Lance,
Aye. Motion carries. I'm at 9:02. I'm gonna go ahead and open the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget hearing. Have there been any written or oral comments? Publications been made? Just for a short version, so in the general fund, we're asking about $530,000 more. In the rural services fund, we're about $50,000 less. Most of that increase is, well, at least half that increase is due to the property tax increase. And there's a statement on the back that tells us the rest of the increases. We only had a 1% growth rate. 5% for the insurance, health insurance, 33% to the court costs for juvenile services. Pretty much carries it all. I mean. Public comments. Roger, you're public.
Just from what little I understand, the economy is getting after all of us. The dollar that we all need to make things happen. What's a load of gravel across today versus what it did 2 years ago, or concrete, or manpower, or whatever. It's gotta be a struggle, and if we want the services, we gotta pay for it. If we're ready to give up the services, then okay, fine, somebody else is gonna have to do it. So,
Couldn't agree with you more.
Any other public comments? Okay, hearing none.
Make motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I do have one comment. I wish there were more people here for the amount of money we spend on mailing this publication out to everybody. You would have thought that Iowans for Tax Relief and Americans for Prosperity would have a couple hundred people here in the room today. So, I'm not sure that's the best return on investment. I appreciate truth in taxation, but, disappointed that we spend this much money and have this little input. On the other side, during our budgeting process, I know we have residents that come in and sit in during those meetings and they know that, we're open and we'll allow them to have a voice then as well. So, we'll take the good with the bad. And, Jolene, I appreciate you doing what you do. With the truth in taxation part and the mailing, postage is going up another 5 cents, I think, in the next couple months. So in the past 10 years, postage has gone up, almost 50%. So, along with Roger's statements about inflation, it's even hitting us in trying to be better stewards of the tax dollars. So,
Jolene, do you have a cost off the top of your head for what that mailing costs?
We had sent them, they had estimated, between 10 and 11,000, so we sent them a check for that. And then great company, it didn't cost us that much, so then they sent us a check back, of over 3, so it was between 7 and 8,000 is what it cost us.
But it's just another added expense the state
Something
is
that was
putting on us,
for.
wanting us to decrease our budgets, but they give us. So thank your legislators.
or down. That's all I had.
Just so I'm clear, we did have a second on the motion.
Correct.
Okay.
And I was the comment.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
BJ.
Aye.
Renee.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Public hearing is closed. Next is consideration to approve the budget for fiscal year 24-25.
I will make a motion to approve the budget for fiscal year 24-25.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Renee.
Aye.
BJ.
No.
Lance.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is consideration to approve resolution 2024-11 to adopt the fiscal year 2025 budget.
I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2024-11.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
BJ.
No.
Renee.
Aye.
Lance.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is consideration to approve Eldora Public Library application to use courthouse grounds.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve the Eldora Public Library's application to use courthouse grounds, July 24th through the 30th, from 9 AM to noon. It's a story walk on the square for the Pine Lake Festival. Joan Grotoff is the contact person, and look forward to this again.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Which carries. Next is consideration to approve stop the bleeding training.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve Stop the Bleed training.
And I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I assume this is coming through Brook and Heartland. So having taken this class and been an instructor for a while, I think this is a great class. Unfortunately, I've had to use it in the field, never in the workplace, but carrying that cat tourniquet in my vehicle has turned out to be a pretty beneficial thing. And I think it's more of a life skill. And if somebody happens to have to use it in the workplace, we'll be prepared. So I think this is a great thing. Brooke?
So, Hardin County Public Health received a grant to disperse 3 kits to us, specifically to the courthouse. We currently have 4 kits in the courthouse and we can disperse those to other departments. So I'd like to put 2 in secondary roads and 2 in conservation. It is required that it has to be at least 1 employee trained per kit, but obviously the more we have, the better. What we're looking at.
Yeah, I like your rationale for getting them out to where the incidence of exposure is probably the greatest, so.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now I have this change of status.
I'll make a motion to approve the change of status for Dale Johnson. That's a correctional officer, full-time employee currently. It's a resignation effective April 24th, 2024.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Then we have one for Anthony Grapp as correctional officer, permanent part-time. It's also a resignation effective April 24th, 2024.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
We have one for Greg Hykens, effective April 29th, 2024, roadside mower. It's a hiring at a rate of $20 an hour.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Then we have one for Martin or Eleanor Martin, effective 5/28/2024. It's a seasonal laborer for this in secondary roads. At $14.50 an hour. It's a hiring and will be on an on-call seasonal basis.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
And the last one is for Aaron Klein, effective 5/20/24 in secondary roads. It's also a seasonal laborer. It's a hiring at $14.50 an hour and will be on an on-call seasonal basis.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Taylor, you want to comment on the last two?
Sure, they're just we put out for summer intern stuff in my office, only 2 applied. We liked them both. We just lost Bruce. We're like, let's grab them both. It's a cheap body. They both want to go into engineering at Iowa State, so it's like,
Good.
I don't know if I can offer much better experience for a kid that wants to just live around here. So,
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Other business. Thomas? Took a deep breath.
Mackenzie and I are working on a grant for the sheriff's office. That's for the sheriff's office. It is through Hinson's office. It is community projects funding as an appropriation, and the amount of that, the ask is 2.7 million for the radio project. So we're working on that grant this morning. It's due by 5 p.m. We're working with our MCM consulting and getting some language for some of the questions that are asked, but we're gonna submit that today. And then we've got 10 letters of support for it from different communities and department leaders.
Okay,
Do you know when the decision on that will be made?
It's the federal government, it's appropriation.
Yeah, that's what I expected, but just.
I would be-
Yeah.
By October.
Yeah, 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 'cause it has to come out. Yeah, it starts October 1 is the
Okay.
appropriation.
Right.
I would ask if you guys, if one of you would do a letter of,
I'll make a phone call today.
yeah, we can send you a form letter that
I-
you put a signature on.
Yep. To send that over to me today and I'll get it back to you. Thank you.
any other business? Public comments?
No.
Adjournment.
To adjourn.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. We're adjourned.